Why did Donald Trump turn himself in? Trump was arrested Thursday evening at the Fulton County Jail on felony charges related to efforts to overturn Georgia's 2020 presidential election results. The Republican presidential candidates, who were not named Donald Trump, did not even have a full day to bask in the glory of their first debate performance before the former president stole the show once more. Let's go back and figure out why he had to turn himself in. With the release of his historic mugshot, he quickly became the biggest thing on social media. Despite the fact that he has been indicted 4 times this year, the Georgia case is the first to include a booking photo. While many of Trump's detractors were waiting for the mugshot, Trump and his presidential campaign decided to embrace the attention as well. He returned to his former favorite social media platform, now known as X, for the first time since being banned in January 2021. Trump's mugshot was posted along with a link to his website and the words "election interference" and "never surrender." His campaign quickly began selling mugshot t-shirts, and Trump senior advisor Chris LaCivita warned any scammers who might try to profit from the photo, "We are coming after you," he wrote, adding that "you will not scam donors." He's defiant, a Trump aide said of the former president's demeanor Thursday night. During the former president's brief 20-minute stay at the Fulton County Jail tonight, a fake mugshot of Trump began circulating on social media. A photo of Trump with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office watermark in the top left corner quickly spread on X, formerly known as Twitter. He can be seen wearing a red, white, and blue necktie against a gray backdrop. NBC News confirmed that the photo was taken from a Reuters photo taken by Carlos Barria on November 20, 2020. Internet sleuths were also quick to dismiss the photo as genuine, pointing out that Trump was photographed wearing a red necktie today. In a post on X the day after the debate, Andrew Serbian, a GOP strategist and former Trump White House official, seemed to revel in the attention surrounding Trump. How small and irrelevant does last night's entire GOP debate feel right now? Trump skipped the first GOP presidential primary debate, claiming that because he was so far ahead in the polls, he didn't need to stand up there with 8 of his rivals. Instead, he recorded an interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson, which was released just before the start of the game in Milwaukee. During the conversation, Trump discussed the possibility of civil war, how convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein died in prison, and whether he is concerned about being assassinated. Most of his opponents did their best Wednesday night to avoid attacking Trump, the party's frontrunner, by raising their hands and saying they would support him if he was convicted of a crime and also became the party's presidential nominee. Even though Trump's legal problems may be a problem if he runs in the general election, many Republican candidates have decided that going after them in the primary campaign will not benefit them. According to the most recent NBC News Des Moines Register Mediacom poll, 54% of likely Iowa GOP caucus goers said that they were less likely to vote for a candidate who aggressively attacks Trump for the actions that led to the multiple indictments against him, compared to 16% who said they were more likely to vote for such a candidate. Trump was released from jail on a $200,000 bond on Thursday. In Georgia, he and 18 others, including his former chief of staff Mark Meadows and his former attorney Rudy Giuliani, are facing racketeering charges for allegedly plotting to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Trump is also facing federal charges for allegedly mishandling classified documents after leaving the White House and attempting to overturn the 2020 election results, as well as charges in a New York case stemming from alleged efforts to conceal hush money payments to a porn star. The contrast between Trump's world and that of the other Republican candidates couldn't be more pronounced on Thursday. Many of them were off the trail after their big night, while Trump's closest rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, was throwing softballs and listening to Sweet Caroline, which has the lyrics, "Good times never seem so good." In each of Trump's other criminal cases this year, the former president was booked and taken before a judge for a brief arraignment hearing to hear the charges and formally enter his plea. These procedures will be carried out separately in Georgia. The Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis, who brought the case against Trump and his co-defendants, has requested that the arraignment take place the week of September 5th and that the trial begin on March 4th, 2024. There are currently no dates set. The arraignment in Georgia could also be unique because, depending on the judge's discretion, television cameras are generally permitted in courtrooms in the state. This would be in contrast to Trump's ample arraignment in New York. on charges related to hush money payment made to a porn star, where only still cameras were permitted. It would also differ from Trump's 2 previous federal arraignments, in which only courtroom sketches of Trump were released following allegations of election interference and mishandling secret government documents. Judge Scott McAfee, who is presiding over the Georgia case, can decide whether Trump must appear in person or virtually for his arraignment. Prosecutors charged Trump and his 18 co-defendants, including Trump's White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, and his high-profile personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, with 41 criminal counts in a 98-page Georgia indictment released last week. Trump is charged with 13 counts, including soliciting a public officer to violate his oath, conspiracy to commit forgery, and false statements and filings. All of the defendants, including Trump, are also charged with racketeering under the state's Racketeer Influenced and Corruption Organizations Act, or RICO. The charge, which is typically reserved for organized crime and corruption, allows prosecutors to target multiple people who commit separate crimes while collaborating on a common goal. The Georgia case and Trump's 3 other criminal indictments have caused the ex-president's scheduling problems as he seeks the Republican presidential nomination. The trials are expected to begin during the campaign season of 2024, and Trump's legal team is expected to try to delay the start of the legal proceedings. Even if convicted of the crimes, Trump is not barred from running for or being elected president under the U.S. Constitution. The current situation, however, is unprecedented, and it is unclear how a possible prison sentence would be handled. Trump has denied all of the charges, claiming that the indictments are part of a coordinated political campaign to derail his re-election bid. It's election interference, Trump said briefly at Atlanta's airport. "I'd like to thank you for coming. We didn't do anything wrong, and we have every right, every single right, to contest an election that we believe is fraudulent. As a result, we believe it is extremely dishonest." Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, Republican, Georgia, posted an altered image that appeared to be a mugshot from the Fulton County Jail. She reiterated her support for Trump. Amy Kremer, one of the organizers of the Stop the Steal rally that preceded the January 6th Capitol attack, shared a similar bogus mugshot yesterday. Trump's 20-minute stay in the Fulton County Jail is unusual for people arrested here, even in the case of election meddling. This is unusual. The hearings have ranged from less than an hour for Giuliani to about 90 minutes for lawyer John Eastman. However, the process for a former president was expected to be accelerated. Trump will have to be prosecuted later after being released from custody. In Fulton County, booking and arraignment in criminal cases are handled separately. According to Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee, some arraignments may be virtual, according to the sheriff's office last week. Meanwhile, Trump has been barred from engaging in any conduct that a judge might interpret as an attempt to intimidate co-defendants and witnesses or otherwise obstruct the administration of justice in the case. The parties will submit trial date proposals. Willis originally proposed a March 4th trial date, with arraignments the week of September 5th. In a filing today, she pushed that deadline up to October 23rd. Trump has stated that he intends to file a motion to separate his case from any co-defendants, seeking a speedy trial. Following Trump's surrender tonight, Republican members of Congress warned that the criminal justice system would be used to target candidates from both parties in the future. Those who decide to use indictments, prosecutors, and even mugshots as political campaign weapons have unleashed a destructive new era in American politics, wrote Senator Marco Rubio, Republican, Florida, in a post to X. The House Republican Conference Chair, Representative Elise Stefanik of New York, said Biden continues to weaponize the government against Trump illegally, his top political opponent for the White House. Thanks for tuning in. If this video was informative, hit that like button and share it with your friends. Subscribe for more content, and we will see you in the next video.